The slip of paper comes through the pass-through on a Tuesday morning, 3 days before they walk you. A triplicate form, carbon copies, the top sheet, pale yellow, a little oil smudged from someone's thumb at the print desk. You pick it up off the floor and read it standing up. Special provision order, final meal request. Your name is printed at the top in block letters. 11 years on the tier for 2 bodies during a gas station job, and it all narrows down to a yellow form and $40. That's the budget. $40 from an approved vendor list stapled to the back of the form. No alcohol, no live animals. You almost laugh when you read that last part. Someone had to put it in writing at some point. You try not to think too hard about why. You sit on the bunk and read the vendor list. 2 pages, double-sided, last updated 4 years ago. A burger chain, a chicken place, a pizza outfit, a rib joint, a Chinese delivery restaurant. Some of them are probably closed by now. You run your thumb down the names. Your first instinct is the ribs, because that's what you ordered every birthday before the arrest. Then you picture trying to eat ribs at 5 a.m. in this cell alone, and you change your mind. The form has to be back through the pass-through by 6 p.m. A guard named Pollard slid it under the door without saying anything. He's been doing the required wellness checks every 4 hours since your date came through. 2 knocks with his baton, waiting for your voice. You say, "Clear," each time, and he moves on. Always the same knock, 3/4 effort, like he wants to confirm you're there without making a whole thing of it. You leave the form on the wire shelf above the toilet and spend most of the morning with the sports magazine you've had for 3 years. You've read it enough to know the statistics on pages 14 and 15 from memory, but you still turn to them. It's something to do with your hands. Lunch comes through the pass-through at 11:15. 2 slices of white bread, canned green beans, a square of processed meat and pale gravy. You eat all of it because you eat what comes through. 11 years on this tier teaches you not to wait for something better. By early afternoon, you pick up the form again and go through the vendor list more carefully. The chicken place does a half rack of wings for $9. The rib joint has a 2-bone plate for $14. The Chinese restaurant has a beef and broccoli combo with fried rice for $11. You could order 2 of those and still have money left. $40 is a lot of food for one person in a 6x9 cell at 5 in the morning. Somewhere in the middle of calculating it, you realize you're not thinking about what you want. You're thinking about what sounds like a reasonable thing to want. Those aren't the same. You put the form flat on the bunk and think about the last time you ate something because you actually wanted it, not because a tray came through a slot. You can't pin down the year. Before the last appeal, probably. You pick up the pen. Fried chicken, 2 pieces, dark meat. Mashed potato with gravy. Slice of peach pie. Large sweet tea. You total it, $28. You stare at the 12 left. You write down a second slice of pie. You cross it out. 1 slice is the right amount. You slide the form back through the pass-through at 5:45, and Pollard takes it without reading it in front of you. The lights cut at 10 p.m., same as every night. The hallway throws a thin orange line under the door. You lie on the blue mattress and listen. The radiator ticks twice an hour, always the same 2 taps, a sound you stopped hearing around year 3 that you're hearing again tonight. A man 4 cells down talks in his sleep. Not words, just sound, like he's giving directions somewhere. The ventilation comes on at 11, and the pass-through rattles slightly in its frame. You know all of these sounds the way you know the 7 keys on Pollard's ring by their jingle from 40 feet out. You've just stopped registering them for a long time. Around 3 a.m. you get up and stand at the door and look at the orange line of hallway light and then go back to the bunk. It's not insomnia exactly. It's that sleep feels like something to get through rather than something to want. At 4 a.m., 2 knocks, baton on steel. Clear. Pollard's keys move down the corridor and fade. At 4:30, the chaplain. This is also a procedure. He's a short man named Briggs, at least according to the badge. You've seen him twice before for other men on this tier. He comes in and sits on the stool and asks if you want to talk or pray or both. You tell him you don't have much to say. He nods and sits there anyway for about 15 minutes without filling the silence. Most people who come in a pastoral role feel obligated to say something useful. Briggs just sits. At 4:50 he stands up, says he'll be nearby if you want him later, and leaves. Around 5 a.m. the smell arrives. Industrial cleaner, sharper, and heavier than the usual floor product they use on the tier. It comes from the direction of the long room at the far end of the block. They clean it before. That's the procedure. You've smelled it on other people's mornings. Today it's your morning. You sit up and put both feet flat on the concrete floor. The tray comes at 5:40. The pass-through opens and slides in the larger frame they use for special provisions, stainless steel, wider than the daily model. There's a paper card clipped to the side. Your name, the date, the items listed. 2 pieces dark meat fried chicken in a paper sleeve, mashed potato in a foil container, gravy in a small sealed cup, 1 slice peach pie in a clear plastic container, large sweet tea in a sealed cup with a lid. The chicken sleeve is warm against your palms. You sit on the bunk with the tray on your knees. The chicken is good, actually good, not close enough, not adequate. The skin has texture to it. The meat is hot through to the bone. The mashed potato is thick and there's real butter in it somewhere, not the powdered mix from the kitchen. You eat slowly, not performing anything, just not very hungry, and eating slowly is how you get through a meal when you're not hungry. The gravy goes over the potato. You eat that section first, then the chicken, both pieces. Then you open the pie container. The crust has gone a little soft from the sealed lid, which is how it goes. The peaches are thick and sweet. You eat the whole slice. You drink the rest of the tea, cold and heavily sweetened, the way it gets when it's been steeping since the previous evening. You grew up with sweet tea made exactly like that and hadn't thought about it in years until the first sip. You set the tray near the pass-through and sit back. The meal is done. It was better than expected. You're sitting in a 6x9 cell with a used tray on the floor and the cleaner smell still coming in and some amount of time left. The paper sleeve from the chicken is sitting on the tray. You pick it up and fold it into a square with your hands without thinking about it, because having something to do with your hands is a thing. Pollard comes back at 6:20 with a second officer you don't recognize. The whole door opens, not the pass-through. Pollard picks up the tray. The second officer is holding the clear effects bag that's been outside your door since last night. Your 3-year sports magazine, 2 sealed letters, a photograph of someone you're not going to explain to a stranger. You stand up and straighten the mattress out of habit. The chicken was good. You hadn't expected to mean that.